Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I am back with another process video using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of March. And as you guys saw in previous videos, I'm focusing on using some of the embellishment clusters we made earlier this month. And of course they all match the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection because that's what our collection kit for this month is all about. And for today's layout, I'm pulling out the Hello script paper. I think this paper is so pretty, but also so very intimidating to use because it is high contrast, but also very busy because it's not a solid pattern where the hellos are the same all the way across. They actually vary quite a bit and overlap quite a bit. But I decided to do a rip tear on that right hand side so I could have some black cardstock showing through from the background. And as you guys also saw from earlier this month, these are the photos from my company holiday party from 2020. We actually for 2019, but it was hosted in January 2020. So it was probably like the last real work thing that I got to do before the pandemic started. So it's definitely interesting. I haven't scrapbooked a ton of photos from 2020 yet. Mainly because I just haven't been scrapbooking. As you guys know, with my move and things, I just decided to take a long break essentially from making actual pages and focus on some other stuff, which I'm glad to be back now. And I'm also back over on Instagram, so if you guys have not been following me there, go check it out. I'm back to posting the layouts and projects and behind the scenes on there as well, because I did take a very, very long break from Instagram. Not intentional in any way, it's just life gets busy and Instagram's the last thing on my mind, but I miss seeing all the inspiration on there from all the other wonderful crafters and artists that I follow, so I decided to come back and start posting again. And I also posted and love posting, doing some inspiration stories. So essentially I reshare the things that are inspiring me lately on Instagram, so some great projects and people to follow. So if you're not over there, check it out and you can hopefully find something new to be inspired by. But here I trimmed down my photos quite a bit. There was a lot of emptiness, especially in my bathroom mirror selfie picture. There was just a lot of stuff around that I didn't want to keep in the photo. And then you can see my shoes in the second photo on the dance floor. The shoes didn't last long. As it were, heels are not fun and they hurt. So I didn't actually stay in my shoes very long. But there's a picture, so it proves that I did indeed wear them. And then I also pulled out an embellishment cluster that we made in a previous video because I thought it would work wonderful for this page. Now this embellishment cluster is mostly neutral, but it does have some yellow and pink on it. Luckily the pink works really well. I've already pulled in some other elements like that 6x8 paper from Maggie Holmes Carousel I used as a layer on the right hand side, and also a scrap from Maggie Holmes Carousel, which is those little swans at the bottom there to create a shelf. Now I'm looking through to find something that sort of matches that green leaf color in the carousel rose paper. That is such an interesting green color, and I ended up finding this sheet from Pink Fresh Studio, which I have used the 12x12 version of this if you guys remember me working with this collection. It was so much fun to work with, but I do still have the 6x6 left, and that's all I have really left from this certain Pink Fresh Studio collection, so I'm trying to use bits and pieces of it whenever I can. And lo and behold, some Maggie Holmes green matched it. So I ended up pulling out this paisley and trimming it down. I love that it has the dark black as the background as well. And I've simply paired that with another scrap, which is from a Pebbles Valentine's Day collection, and just another piece of the stash used up. To finalize both these pieces, I mat them on black cardstock. I do wish I made the mat smaller or different on the larger photo because I don't like how it turned out, but most of it gets covered up anyway, which you'll see in the final up-close video at the end, because there are those gaps because of how big the other layer was. So I guess I just really wish I layered them in a different order so it would work a little bit better. But I really do like the contrast the black brings, and I'm not afraid to use a black cardstock background, but you guys also know me. And if you don't know me, I adore pattern paper backgrounds. Usually it's solid 12x12 pattern paper with a funky design or a really busy design, but here I end up using that cardstock to help neutralize it and give it a bit more balance. And what is really interesting about this, especially the whole Bloom collection in general, is how it gives off such strong contrast, but not all the patterns are straight black and white. Sometimes they're cream and like a dark gray or a charcoal, and it doesn't really give that full deep effect that you're looking for, so pairing it with a black cardstock like this or in my photo layers helps bring out more of that contrast. And it also emulates my outfit in this instance, where I'm wearing a black velvet dress and then some like pearlescent cream colored shoes. I just thought it went really well with the Maggie Holmes vibe, so I ended up using that for these photos, and that's sort of why I pulled these photos out. And if you guys haven't seen the previous videos where I go through and explain how I pulled out the photos for this kit and how I made the embellishment clusters, I'll have those different videos linked down below for you guys to check out. And if you're interested in how I am doing getting back into scrapbooking after my long hiatus, you can check out my Patreon link down below, where I do weekly behind the scenes videos as well as extra videos. As you guys know, we're nearing the end of March, so I'm really going to run out of time to scrapbook all the photos I'd pulled out. So all of the extra process videos after March is over are going over to my patrons. So if you're interested in getting more content and more videos from me, definitely check it out. But as always, if there's Maggie Holmes involved, the sticker book comes out. So I've pulled out a ton of stickers already. We've got the little black swan on the right-hand photo, the block that says "From the Heart," eating up some of that space between the photos on the top right. Then we have the cluster in the bottom left, which I've paired with another yellow flower from the same set. And then I pulled out these word stickers that say "Follow Your Heart" because they're sort of a similar green as that leaf pattern in the 6x8 from Carousel. Just really trying to bring in more of that color, but it was so hard to find something similar in my stash. And then I ended up trying to resort to some die cuts, and I thought maybe something from this binder, which are my collection die cuts. I auditioned some of these ones, which are from Pink Paisley C'est La Vie. I tried the green, like teal ones, as well as the Potter pink ones, and I didn't like any of those. So I just kept on flipping through, and then I got to the Maggie Holmes section, which I only have the Carousel ephemera pack, but it ends up working. I pull out this little ticket stub, which is a hotter pink than really I need to use on this layout, but I really like the way it looks. And again, a ticket stub is a great way to represent that it's an event without having to scream it's an event, and I really, really liked how that turned out. Then I ended up finding I had the Maggie Holmes confetti ephemera pack, so I ended up pulling out this gold acetate foiled wonderful little leaf and put it in the bottom left cluster. I don't have too many of those left. I've used a bunch of them already, but if I had more, I'd probably incorporate them somehow. But I really like it in the left side because there is so much gold foil on that pink rose paper that we talked about earlier. So there's already a bits of gold foil, and I just kind of wanted to balance it out. Because now we have the gold foil on the rose pattern, the gold foil in the heart on the bottom right photo, and then I'll have this little sprig in the left there, and then there's a little hint of gold on that bottom pattern paper with the swans, also from Carousel, but I cover up most of that, so I'm not sure it counts. But here I'm just going to glue everything into place, and I end up swapping where that yellow rose goes because there is yellow in this cluster already, and I wanted to balance that out a bit more, so I throw it to the right-hand side with that ticket instead. But then to finish off this layout, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for a title. There's a lot of words on here already, but I end up going for one anyway, and since these were already on my desk from a previous page, I end up pulling out more of the butterflies. I really like black foam because of the contrast it brings and the dimension and texture it brings, and it's hard to see texture on camera. I think it's much more obvious in person, but I do really like the black foam for that because of the contrast and the additional texture. But I end up pulling that word "smile" off as my title. Nothing fancy, really simple, but that's how I roll with a lot of my layouts. And of course, before we finish a layout, we need to go through the sticker book one last time. And as you guys know, I am trying to use up this sticker book. I did have a goal for it last year, but I knew that probably wouldn't happen. And now I'm definitely hoping this year I can do it. There's a lot more empty pages, but there's still a lot more to go. But you'll see I am pulling out that gold heart there at the top. And then I don't find too much else, but I do consider adding some other things. So I go through my little buckets on my desk that just have extra random embellishments in them. Again, looking for that elusive green color that's in the Maggie Holmes floral there. I just couldn't find one that fit perfectly. I do end up bringing in this color right here, which is a like light green, mint, sage green, I'm not sure, probably more mint green. And that's just a little tab from Pretty Little Studio that I wanted to be able to write my date on for this layout. And it's not like that colors a bunch of places on this layout, but somehow it works because it is in the teal family, like those leaves are, like the phrase sticker is. So it really just ends up working in my favor. And of course, it's not a Katelyn layout without using some washi tape. Usually I incorporate it before this point, but it's more of a last minute addition on this one. So I end up pulling out this pink polka dot to bring in more of that bright pink that's in the ticket that we added, as well as that rose pattern paper, and just a couple strips of it. And it's just a light polka dot. And then I also wanted to add a little bit more of that minty green color that we've now added with the tab. Since I don't have that dark green color, we might as well try to emulate that mint. So I pull out a diagonal stripe one to add a few strips as well. But that is it for this layout. Nothing fancy, but a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that embellishment cluster get used on this one as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I had a lot of fun with this pink, black, and white main theme and then adding in those greens and yellows. But if you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys!